Let me change the color like this. So f of x is equal to 3x minus square root of x. And then we have g of x, which is equal to x squared, like this. And they are telling us to find this value here. So we are going to start by finding g of 4. So here we can say g of 4, like this, is now going to be equal to 4 to the power 2, which is equal to 16. And all we are going to do is to change g of 4 here by 16. So f of g of 4 is simply going to be equal to f of 16, like this, and which is going to give us 16, because this is f of x, okay, minus square root of 16. This here, 3 times 16 is equal to 48, minus square root of 16 is 4. Then we have 44 here. So clearly our answer is answer E. Let's move on to the next question. So the question is, which of the following equals 5,000? Okay, so one way we can do that is maybe we can quickly check each of the answer choices. So this one, we are going to write it to the powers of 10. So this can be equal to 3 times 10 to the power minus 2. This is equal to 6 times 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 5, like this. So this can give us, like if we simplify this, so it's going to give us 1 over 2 times 10 to the power minus 2 times 10 to the power 5, because this one, when it goes up, it changes the sign. And here we will have 1 over 2 is 0.5 times 10 to the power 3, okay, because here it's going to be minus 2 plus 5, which gives us the power 3. And then if 0.5 times 10 to the power 3 is equal to 500. So that's basically the logic. Here we're going to do the same thing. So this is going to be 3 times 10 to the power minus 1 and 6 times 10 to the power minus 2, which is going to give us 1 over 2 times 10 to the power minus 1 times 10 to the power 2, which is equal to 0. Like this to the power 1. So this will give us 5. So it is not, this one is not equal to 5,000. This is not equal to 5,000 as well. So here we will still have 3, okay, 6 times 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 4, which is going to give us 0.5 times 10 to the power 4. Okay, because minus 4, 10 to the power minus 4 will come up. It will be 10 to the power 4. And this will give us, 5,000. So our answer is clearly answer C. But if we want to continue, we can say this is equal to 3 times 10 to the power 1, 6 times 10 to the power minus 1. This is going to give us 0.5 times 10 to the power 1 times 10 to the power 1. Okay, yeah, so it's going to give us 0.5 times 10 to the power 2, which is equal to 50. And then the last one here give us 3 times 10 to the power 2, 6 times 10 to the power minus 3, and this is 0.5 times 10 to the power 2 times 10 to the power 3, and this will be 0.5 times 10 to the power 5, and we will have, yeah, this will be 50,000. Okay, so clearly it's only the answer C here, which is the correct answer. So you only have one correct answer in the answer choices. So by the time we found 5,000 here, answer C, we could have stopped and move on to the next question. Let's go to the next question. Next question is this. So it says, if f of x is equal to 5, so let me just write f of x is equal to 5 times x to the power 3 minus 2x plus 8. And at the same time, we have g of y, which is equal to 6y minus 4. Okay, and it wants us to find g of fx. Okay, so it's going to be, so this is g of y. So all we have to do is to change the value, to replace the value y here by f of x, by this one. So this is going to be 6 times f of x here is 5x to the power 3 minus 2x plus 8, and then we have minus 4. So this will give us 6 times 5, 30x to the power 3. 6 times minus 2 here is going to give us minus 12x. And 6 times 8 is 48. And then we have minus 4. Then when we continue, we have 30x to the power 3 minus 12x. Then 48 minus 4 is 44. So now if we look at the answer choices that we have been given here, this result that we have found here is equal to this, answer E. Let me just do this. Answer E is our correct answer. Yes. Let's move on to the next question. Feel free to ask your question in the comment section if you have any doubt. I'll be more than willing to answer. So let's come to this question. Let me just move it up. Question number 4 here. It says if x is greater than 3,000, then the value of x over 2x plus 1 is closest to which of the values, the answer choices that we have here. Okay, so what we are going to do here, it says that x is greater than this, than 3,000. So we are going to suppose that x is actually, let's say, 3001. Okay, because it's strictly greater. So if x is equal to 3001, then we're going to have 3001 over 2, because 2x here, 3001 plus 1. Okay, so this is going to give us this 3001 over 6002 plus 1. So since here we are not looking for the exact value, we are looking for the value that is closest, the closest value. And we can see that this one, 6002 plus 1, is approximately 6002. Okay, and if we get this value divided 3001, we are going to get approximately 1 over 2. Okay, because this 1 plus 1, the 1 here is insignificant. Okay, so if we just remove it, then we can see that our answer is approximately 1 over 2. So basically, the answer here is answer D, which is 1 over 2. Okay, feel free to ask a question in the comment section if you have any doubt. Let's go to the next question. Here it says, if 3 over x, let me just move it here. Yeah, so if 3 over x is equal to 2, and y over 4 is equal to 3, then they want us to find 3 plus y over x plus 4. Okay, so for more space, let me find. So what we're going to do here, we will say 3 over x is equal to 2. So that means 2x is equal to 3, and x is equal to 3 over 2. Y over 4 is equal to 3, then we know that y is equal to 12. Then if we take this, and replace, so we have 3 plus y over x plus 4. We definitely know that this is going to be 3 plus 12, because y is 12, over 2 over 2 plus 4, because x is 3 over 2. Then this will give us 15, the 11 over 2. Then we will say 15 times 2 over 11 is equal to 30 over 11. Okay, so answer B is the correct answer. So let's move on to the next question. The next question will be this one. Okay, so it says in this question here, Sam has $63 in $5 bills and $1 bills. Which of the following could not be the number of $1 bills Sam has? So first of all, we will say here that let x be equal to the number of $5 bills and y be equal to the number of $1 bills. Okay, and what it tells us here that Sam has $63. So that means that we have 63 is going to be equal to $5 times the number of $5 bills plus 1 times the number of $1 bills, y here. So this is basically equal to 5x plus y, okay, which is equal to 30. So we can even write it like this. 5x plus y is equal to 63. And what they want us to find is also which of the following could not be the number of $1 bills. Okay, which of these answer choices cannot be the value of y? So y can be a bunch of numbers depending on x. So one way to find that out is to actually say that in order to find the value of y, okay, x here must be a whole number, because we can't have 1.5 number of $5 bills. Okay, so the value of y here is dependent on the value of x. Okay, and we are going to use these answer choices to actually determine that. We will say, for example, so this one here, 5x plus y is equal to 63, will lead us to have x being equal to let me remove this here. Okay, so this can lead us to say that x is equal to 63 minus y over 5. So in order for us to determine which of the answer choices cannot be the number of $1 bills, we have to determine which of the answer choices here, when we replace in this equation, gives us a decimal number. If it gives us a whole number, then it's a correct value of y. But if it gives us a decimal number, then we know that this cannot be the value of y. So we will just say if y is equal to 13, for example, then x is going to be equal to 63 minus 13 over 5, which is going to give us 50 over 5, which is equal to 10. So we definitely know that this cannot be the answer. Okay, we will try with 21. If y is equal to 21, then we will have 63 minus 21. Okay, 21 is the value of y over 5, and it's going to give us 42 over 5. So 42 over 5. So 42 is not divisible by 5. So this is definitely going to give us a decimal number. Like if you say 42 divided by 5 here, we have 8. It's going to give us 40. We have 2. So here we were 6. So it gives us 8.4. So definitely this is the correct answer. Okay, and even if you try with the rest of the answer choices, you'll find out that all the 3 of the rest here is going to give us the value of y being a whole number. Okay, let's continue. Let's say if y is equal to 23, then x is equal to 63 minus 23 over 5, which gives us 40 over 5, which is equal to 8. The same thing for if y is equal to 28 and x is equal to 63 minus 28 over 5, which gives us 35 over 5 equal to 7. And even the last one, if y is equal to 33, then x is equal to 63 minus 33 over 5, which is 30 over 5, which is equal to 6. Okay, so it's only this one that is giving us a decimal number. So 21 cannot be the number of $1 bills, because if we have 21 dollar bills, it's giving us 8.4 $5 bills, which is not possible. It cannot be possible. Okay, so this is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Yes, so here it says Cathy bought 4 times as many shares in company X as Carl, and Carl bought 3 times as many shares in the same company as Tom. Which of the following is the ratio of the number of shares bought by Cathy to the number of shares bought by Tom? So what we can start here, put in our equation. Let's say that Cathy here, K, is equal to the number of shares bought by Cathy, okay? And it says that 4 times as many shares in company X as Carl, and C is equal to the number of shares bought by Carl. And it says that Cathy bought 4 times. Okay, so K is equal to 4C. And then it also says that Carl bought 3 times as many shares in the same company as Tom. So 3 times T. T here is the number of shares bought by Tom. And what they want us to find is the number of shares, okay, which of the following is the ratio of the number of shares bought by Cathy to the number of shares bought by Tom. Okay, so K over T. That's what they want us to find. So one thing that we can do is to simply say here, so we have K is equal to 4C. We can say 4C over T. And we are going to try to find the value of T in terms of C. Okay, so we can simply say here that 3T is equal to C, then T is equal to C over 3, basically. And we can do here is that we will have 4C, then T here we are going to replace it by C over 3, which is going to give us 4C times 3 over C, then which is going to give us 12C over C, which is equal to 12, because this will cancel, and 12 over 1. So basically, this is our answer. Yeah, so feel free, if you have any question, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Yeah, so now the next question, which is, which of the following is equal to 85% of 160? So simply saying 85% times 160. What is the answer of this equation? So this is simply 85 times 160 over 10. So here we will have 85 times 16 times 10. We can also write this as 85 is equal to 17 times 5 times this here, 16 is 2 times 8, and then 10 is actually 5 times 2. And then we can simplify like this. And then in the end, we're going to have 17 times 8, which is equal to 136. Yeah, like if we do the calculation here, it's going to give, this one is going to give us 56. So we say 6 here, we're going to carry the 5, and 1 times x, times 8 is 8, plus the carry here, which is give us 13. 8 times 5 is 13. So the answer is answer C. As simple as that. Then we can then move on to the next question. Which is this one. Huh? If y is equal to 5x to the power 2 minus 2x, and x is equal to 3, then what is the value of y? Simply put. So we are simply going to replace the value of x here by 3. Okay, so x is going to be equal to 5 factor of 3 to the power 2 minus 2 factor of 3. Then here we're going to have 5. 3 to the power 2 is equal to 9 minus 6. And here 5 times 9 is equal to 45 minus 6. And then here y is equal to 39. Then x is the value is the answer is 39. Next question. So it says the 180 students in the group are to be seated in rows so that there is an equal number of students in each row. Each of the following could be the number of rows except. Okay, so we need to find in the answer choices which one cannot be the number of rows. So our answer must not be a divider of 160. Okay, if it is a divider of 180, excuse me, then this is not the answer that we are looking for. Okay, so the answer must not be a divisor of 160. Okay, so a divider of 160 is any number when we divide it, when we divide 180 by it gives us a whole number. Let's take, for example, 4 here. Okay, 4, 180 divided by 4 is actually 80 over 2, and is equal to 45. Okay, so that means that if we have 4 rows, we can have 45 students per row, just directly put. Okay, so this is not the answer. Remember here it's saying which of the following could be the number of rows except, so we are looking for the exception. Okay, so 4 can be the number of rows, but that means that it's not our answer. If we try with 20, then this is going to give us 18 over 2, which is equal to 9. 20 is not also going to be our answer, because it means that if we have 20 rows, then we can have 9 students per row. Okay, so saying an equal number of students in each row. Okay, let's try 30. 30. So 180 over 30 is 18 over 3, because here we simplify like this, just like we did here. And it's equal to 6. So 30 is not also the answer. Let's try 40. Then we simplify like this. We have 18 over 4. Then we have 9 over 2, which is equal to 4.5. Okay, so this is definitely our answer. Okay, because we can have 4.5 students per row. Okay, because students are human beings, you can have half human being. Okay, so this is our answer. Just to check, if we said 90, for example, so 180 over 90 will give us 18 over 9, which is equal to 2. Okay, so we are looking for the exception. The only exception here is 40, because it gives us 4.5. So that's how you solve this. The next question. Let's find the next question. So it says, for all positive integers m and v, the expression v represents the remainder when m is divided by v. What is the value of this expression here? So what we can start by doing is finding the value of what we have in the brackets here. So let's say when we divide this, so 98 divided by 33, as I can see, if I say 3 here, we will have 99 like this, but 99 is greater than 98, so it's 2. Say 66. So we have 32. So this is the remainder. So this will just be 32 here, and we have this 17. So we will come back to it later on. Okay, so let's move on to here. So here we have the minus sign, and then we have 98. So we are going to, like I said, work on what we have inside the brackets. And then here we have 33 divided by 17. We can quickly also do that. 33, because the value on the left here is equivalent to m, and the value on the right is v. Okay, so divided by 17. If we say 2, then we'll have 34 here. 34 is greater. Okay, so this is definitely going to be 1. 17, 13 minus 7 is 6, and then we carry down here, it's going to be 2 and 16. So this here is going to be 16. So now this is the new expression that we have here. And we are going to apply the same principle, mv here. So this is basically going to be 32 divided by 17. Okay, so 1, 17, 12, so this is going to be 5 and 1. So the remainder is 15 minus, here we have 98 divided by 16. This is going to give us the value of, if we say 6 here, so 6 times 6, 36. We carry the 3, 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3, 9, and the remainder is 2. So now this is our operation. 15 minus 2 gives us 13. Okay, so our answer is this, 13. Okay, which one is our next question is, if minus 3 is 6 more than x, what is the value of x? Yeah. So mathematically, what this means is minus 3 is equal to 6 more than x. So it simply means that it's equal to x plus 6. Okay. So x plus 6. Then what is the value of then x over 3 question mark. So first we need to find the value of x here. From this equation, we can write it like x plus 6 is equal to minus 3, and x is equal to minus 3 minus 6, x is equal to minus 9. Then we can say, if since x is minus 9, so x over 3 is equal to minus 9 over 3, which is equal to minus 3. Answer C is the correct answer. Okay, so that's the answer. So let's move on to the next question. Yeah. The sum of 3 integers is, let me see. Okay, so the sum of 3 integers is 40. The largest integer is 3 times the middle integer, and the smallest integer is 23 less than the largest integer. What is the product of the 3 integers? Let's start by saying that, what am I doing like this? Yeah. Okay. L is actually equal to the largest integer, which is equal to 3 times m. Okay, m here, we're going to call it the middle integer. Okay, so we have the largest integer, we have the middle integer. And we will also have the smallest integer that we're going to call s. So it says smallest integer. And it tells us that the smallest integer is 23 less than the largest integer. So it means that it's L minus 23. And we know that L is the largest integer, okay? It also tells us that the sum of the 3 integers is 40. So it simply means that L plus m plus x is equal to 40. So largest integer plus middle integer plus smallest integer is equal to 40. And the question is, what is the product of the 3 integers? So L times m times small question mark. So that's what they want us to find. So in order to get this answer, we need to find the value of each of the integers, largest, middle, and small. So we can start by finding the value of the middle integer. Since we have here large plus medium plus small is equal to 40, and we know that largest integer is equal to 3 times the medium plus the middle integer, and here we have the small integer, smallest is equal to largest minus 23 equal to 40. We can remove this, so this is going to be 4m plus largest integer is 3m equal to 40 plus 23, because the 23 is going to go on the other side. Then we will find ourselves with 7m is equal to 63. Then the middle integer is 63 over 7. Middle integer is actually equal to 9. Okay, 63 divided by 7 is equal to 9. So once we have m, which is equal to 9, then the largest integer is 3m. So it's going to be 3 times 9, which is equal to 27. And then the smallest integer is the largest integer minus 23, which is equal to 27 minus 23, which is equal to 4. Then this here is a product, okay, because that's the question. Product of the integers will be L times M times small, that is 27 times 9 times 4, which will give us 27 times 36. If we just try to do the calculations, 36 times 27, 42, 21 plus 4, 25, and 2 times 6, 12, and 7, so we have 2, 7, 9 here. So answer B, 972. Okay, so that's the product. And you can even check, because if you do, because it says that the sum of the three integers is equal to 40. So like if you do the sum of the integers, largest, middle, and smallest, 27 plus 9 plus 4, this will give us 27 plus 13, which is equal to 40. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, so our answer is answer B. Any question? If you have, feel free to ask. Yes, so next question. Here, the question says, so how many different ordered pairs of numbers S, T can be formed such that normal T equal 3S, where S and T are numbers from the list above. So we have this list here. S and T must be part of this list. Okay, so we are going to find different ordered pairs S and T, but S and T, the condition is that S and T must be part of the list, and we also have here that T is equal to 3S. So one way to do that is to find the value of T based on the value of S. Let's say if S, because we know that S must be part of this list here, so we are going to try with the first value of the list. So if S is equal to 1, then T is equal to 3 times 1, which is equal to 3. So now we have our pair. S is 1 and T is 3. Are they both part of the list here? Yes. Okay, we continue. If S is equal to 2, because 2 is also part of the list, then T is equal to 3 times 2. That's 6. So we have 2 and 6. This is also okay because 2 is in the list and 6 is in the list. If S is equal to 3, then T is equal to 3 times 3, which is equal to 9. So we have 3, 9. 3 is in the list here, and 9 also in the list. And now you will find out that if we say S is equal to 4, then we'll find out that T is equal to 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. And 4, 12. This will not work because even though 4 is in the list, but 12 here is not in the list. So the list stops at 10. Okay. And if we do it the other way around, for example, if we say that if T, for example, T is equal to 1, so that means that 1 is equal to 3S, and S will be equal to 1 over 3. But we don't have 1 over 3 in the list. So we only have 3 ordered pairs here. Our answer should be answer B. Okay, how many different ordered pairs can be formed? We can only form 3. All right. Question 15. Let me say like this. Now, this question can be a little bit tricky, okay? So let's say Anne bought a computer for $2,000 and then paid a 5% sales tax. And Henry bought a computer for $1,800 and then paid a 12% sales tax. The total amount that Henry paid, including sales tax, was what percent less than the total amount that Anne paid, including sales tax? Okay. So we are going to say P, we are going to call it P1. Let P1 be equal to 2,000, which is the price and paid. No, the price that Anne bought the computer. Okay, that's what it says. Anne bought the computer without the sales tax. Okay, and then we were going to have S1, which is going to be the sales tax on P1 on the 2,000. And it says that she paid 5% sales tax on the price. So that will be 5% of 2,000, 5% of 2,000. Which is equal to 5 times 2,000 divided by 10, 100, yeah. Then this will give us 100, because this will be, so we will remain with 5 times 20. And we can say that the total T1, which is total paid by Anne is equal to 2,000 plus the sales tax, okay, which is 100. Then 2,100, 100 that unpaid. We will do the same thing. Let P2, which is equal to 1,800, be the price. Henry bought the computer, not including the sales tax. Okay. And then we can get the sales tax, S2, which is the sales tax on P2, which is 12% of 1,800. And this will lead us to 12 times 1,800 divided by 100. Then we will have 12 times 18, which is 216. Then T2, which is the total paid by Henry, which is going to be equal to 1,800 plus 216, which is going to give us 2,016. So now the question that is asked here is the total amount that Henry paid, including taxes. Okay, this one was what percent less than the amount that Anne paid, including taxes. This one. So we have to compare this to this in terms of percentages. So we are going to do in the operation T1 minus T2 over T1 times 100. Okay, so it is simply going to be equal to T1 we found here, which is 2,100 minus T2 2,016 over T1 2,100 times 100. Okay, and so this is going to give us, let me do this, or I can even, let me remove the 100 here, and you will see why. So T2 like this, okay? So this will give us 84 over 2,100. If you divide by 2, 42 and 1,050. Divide by 2 again, by 2 again, yeah. This will give us 21 over 525. This is divisible by 3. This is also divisible by 3. So if we divide by 3, we have 7 over 175. If this is divisible by 7, okay, then we will get 1 over 25. So one thing we can do, 1 over 25 is actually equal to 4 over 100. So 4 over 100 is equal to 4%. Okay, 4% is 4 over 100. Okay, yeah. So the answer is 4%. So that's how you determine that. Okay, let's go to the next question. Let me just put it down here. Okay, so the question says, a certain university will select one of 7 candidates eligible to fill a position in the mathematics department and 2 of 20 candidates eligible to fill 2 identical positions in the computer science department. If none of the candidates is eligible for a position in both departments, how many different sets of 3 candidates are there to fill in 3 positions? So simply what this is asking us in this question is, we have to choose one person out of 7 candidates and 2 people out of 10 candidates. Okay, so because we have 3 positions to fill, and then we will do the multiplication. So in the mathematics department, yeah, we have to choose one person out of 7 in department. We have to choose one person out of 7. So we say 7, 1 like this. 7, 1, 7 minus this. So this is 6 times 7 factorial. Then we'll have 6 like this. So this will be equal to 7. Okay. So in the mathematics department, we have 6 possible choices. In the computer science department, how many choices do we have? And remember, it says here none of the candidates is eligible for a position in both departments. Okay, so we will not have redundancy. So this is different from the people that are eligible for the computer science department. So like if you are choosing in the mathematics department, you cannot hold the position in the computer science department. So computer science department, we have to choose 2 out of 10. So 10 like this, 2 and 10 minus 2. This will give us 10 times 9 times 8 factorial like this. And then 8 factorial, 2 factorial. So this we can move. And 10 is actually 5 times 2 times 9 over 2 times 1. Okay, we can do this. So this is equal to 45. So basically, the number of sets that we can have of different sets of 3 distinct candidates is equal to 7 times 45, which is equal to 315. Okay, 45 times 7, 35. 28 plus 3, 31. This is the answer. All right. So now let's move on to the next question. So here it says R is equal to 2 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 2 times 7, and S is equal to 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the power 2 times 5. Which of the following is equal to the greatest common divisor of R and S? Okay, greatest common divisor. So it must be a divisor of R and S and the greatest among the answer choices that we have here. So GCD, which is greatest common divisor, must actually be the greatest divisor of both. Okay, so it's important to say both R and S. So among the answer choices here. And a divisor, okay, so if you want like basic definition of what a divisor is like any value when dividing S and R gives a whole number, okay, not a decimal, not a fraction, okay, a whole number value, okay. So that means that if we try this, for it to be a divisor, it needs to be a divider of R and S. Okay, so like 2 times 5 here, is it a divider of R, for example? If we say 2 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 2, divided by 2 times 5. Like, yes, this will also, so this is equal to 2 to the power 2 times 5 times 7. So it is a divider of R, but is it the divisor of S? If we say like 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 2 times 5 over 2 times 5, divides here, divides, and also divides here. It's also a divisor. Of R. And now the question will be, is it the greatest? Because it says the greatest common divisor. So we are going to look for the other options. So this option here, we will also see that this times 5, 2 times 7, 2, 3 times 5. Yeah, it's going to give us actually 2 times 5 times 7. So is a divisor of R. Is it also a divisor of S? If we do it like this, yes. So it's also a divisor of X. So this is not, because when you compare, this is greater than this. So this is out. If we try with this one, we will say this one, is it a divisor? We already see that here this is definitely going to be a divisor of R, okay, but is it going to be a divisor of S here? So we will say 2, let me 3, 2 times 5 over 2 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 2. So yeah, so now we see this will not be a divisor. So it's going to give us 2 times like this here. So this basically is a decimal number if we try to continue this calculation. So this is also out. This one here is clearly a divisor of, is not a divisor of R, okay? Since it's not a divisor of R, we can't continue, okay? Because we want something that is a divisor of both R and S. Why do I say it's not a divisor of R? Because R is 2 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 2 times 7. And if we say 2 times 3 times 5 times 7, we simplify like this. In the end, we'll have 2 to the power 2 times 5 over 3. This is a decimal number. And this one here as well, we clearly see that this is not a divisor of R because of this value here, 3 as well, because here we don't have 3. So if we divide it, 3 is going to remain as a denominator. So this is not. So the answer is this one, because it's the greatest common divisor. Okay, so now let's take some, maybe 3 more questions. Question 18. It says the annual interest rate by an investment increased by 10% from last year to this year. If the annual interest rate earned by the investment this year was 11%, what was the annual interest rate last year? So what we can understand here, it says, it's basically this phrase here. The annual interest earned by the investment this year is 11%. Okay, and it says that the annual interest earned by an investment increased. So that means that this 11% is actually an increase of the interest by 10%. So simply 11% is equal to, so let's say IR is equal to the interest rate from last year. Okay, and what it is saying that 11% is actually an increase of 10% of last year interest rate. So it's simply equal to IR plus 10% of IR, which is giving us the 11%. So if we write it like this, it's equal to like 100 IR over 100 plus 10 IR over 100. Yeah, so basically this gives us 11 over 100 is equal to 110 over 100 IR. This will simplify, and simply IR because we want to find what was the annual interest rate last year. So IR is equal to 11 over 110. You know that 110 is actually 11 times 10. This will simplify and give us 1 over 10. And if we want to find this in terms of percentages, we simply multiply. We make sure that in the denominator here we have 100. In order to have it, we simply say 10 times 1 over 10 times 10. Okay, this will give 10 over 100, which is 10%. So the answer D. So the key was just in reading what was written in the prompt here, in order to put your equation and then find the correct answer. The last but one question for this session. We have a purse contains 57 coins, all of which are nickels, dimes, and quarters. If the purse contains X dimes and 8 more nickels than dimes, which of the following gives the number of quarters the purse contains in terms of X? So X here is actually the number of dimes, okay? X dimes. So what we are going to say is let X be equal to number of dimes N equals number of nickels, and then Q equals the number of quarters. And it says to us that, first of all, N, the nickels, plus X, which is number of dimes, plus Q is equal to 57, because he said a purse contains 57 coins, all of which are nickels, dimes, and quarter. Okay, that's the first question. If the purse contains X dimes and 8 more nickels than dimes, so that means that nickels is equal to the number of dimes plus 8. So it contains 8 more nickels than dimes. So that means that N here, which is the number of nickels, is equal to the number of dimes plus 8, because it's more. Okay, so that's how we can put that equation. So now, which of the following gives the number of quarters the purse contains in terms of X, in terms of dimes? So we want to find the value of Q in terms of X. So this will take us to say that Q is actually equal to 57 minus N minus X. Okay, then we know that N is actually equal to X plus 8. So we have 57 minus X plus 8 minus X. Then 57 minus X minus 8 minus 2 minus X. Okay, then we have 57 minus 8 minus 2x. Okay, minus x and minus x will give us minus 2x. And then 57 minus 8 is actually 49 minus 2x. And when we look at the answer choices we have here, so we have this value, which is exactly what we have gotten here. That's the answer. Now let's take the last question. Okay, the last question. So it says 3 people each contributed X dollars toward the purchase of a car. They then bought the car for Y dollars, and an amount less than the total number of dollars contributed. If the excess amount is to be refunded to the 3 people in equal amounts, each person should receive a refund of how many dollars? Let's say put some values here. So let's say the amount contributed by 3 people is actually 3x's, because it's equal to the number of people and the amount. So that here will be the total amount contributed by 3 people. So it's going to be 3 times x, which is the amount each one get. And then it says they then bought the car for Y dollars, an amount less than the total number of dollars contributed. Okay. Y is the amount used to buy the car, and Y is less than the total amount contributed, less than 3x. So Y is less than 3x, like this. And if the excess amount is to be refunded to the 3 people. So now if we want to find the excess amount, since we know that Y is less than 3x, so the excess amount is going to be the total number of dollars contributed, 3x, minus the actual amount used to buy the car, which is the Y. So this is the excess. But the question says it's not just to find the excess, but the question is to find how much each person will receive from the excess. Okay, so if the excess amount is to be refunded to 3 people in equal amounts, so that means that we have to divide the excess by 3, so that each person is going to receive the equal amount from the excess. Each person should receive a refund of how many dollars? Okay, so this is going to be, and as you can see, the answer choices, it's also going to, it means it has to be in terms of X and Y. So in order to find that, we have to divide. We have to divide the excess by 3. So each of the 3 people will get an equal amount. So now this will give us, so excess is 3x minus y over 3, and the answer is 3x minus 1 over 3. That's it. So that's it for today. Let's have another session, another day. Feel free to write your answer in the comment section.